Hello, welcome to Suffra's Pop Culture Channel. So, I know I'm late to the party with the American Horror Story update for the week, but we just had Halloween. And as a tarot card reader and a horror writer, I have been super busy with all that stuff. I had to work several parties as a tarot reader. And then, of course, that gets exhausting. So, yesterday, even though I wanted to make this video yesterday, I could not form words or think or stand. So, anyways, I'm here today, full of energy, full of life. And also, I just want to announce that my newest book has just come out. It's called Taurus, A Hearse of a Different Color. And it's, and you're supposed to laugh. And it is an erotic horror novel out from Riverdale Avenue Books. It's available in both ebook and print. You can order it online anywhere. You can go to Riverdale Avenue Books and order it. You can go to Amazon and all the other places where you can buy ebooks or print books and have it in your hot little hands and let me know what you think. It's the fifth book in my Witch Upon a Star series, but that, of course, doesn't mean that you have to read all the other books to read this book. This book is definitely a standalone book, and because I'm a fan of American Horror Story, this book actually doesn't talk about American Horror Story, but in the little witchy town of Hermana, where these witches all live, a TV show, horror anthology show, comes to town to shoot a few episodes, and our witches get involved with some of the people in the TV show. So I'll just leave it at that. Make your own observations as you will. I just thought I'd bring that up because it's kind of relevant. Anyways, let's move on to American Horror Story, this Wednesday's episode. So this week we learned a little bit. Again, I'm not using notes, I'm just going from the top of my head, but we got a little more backstory to Mr. Jingles and his horrific childhood and what happened with him. And of course, as always, this is just all about the spoilers because I'm kind of recapping. So we find out that Mr. Jingles had a mom played by Lily Rabe, who we've seen, or Rab, however you want to say it. And she's been in many episodes. She played Nurse Frances or Agnes or whatever. Not nurse, nun. She's a nun, and she's in a lot of the crazy episodes. She's been in many episodes. So, anyways, but she's playing the mom of Mr. Jingles. So we start with a flashback of Mr. Jingles as a kid and his little brother, and he's supposed to take care of his little brother, but his little brother ends up um, in a horrific accident with a motorboat because the lifeguard was off having sex with someone, so he wasn't watching the dock. And then Mr. Jingles was supposed to be watching the little brother, but he was spying on the lifeguard having sex. So the little boy went in the water, and then these kids went out in a motorboat, and boom. And so that coincides a lot with a lot of the horror movies that this show is riffing on, because we know that in many of these slasher movies there's rowboats and boats and the hand coming up at the end, or people getting killed on the boats. And then of course we already had someone getting killed on a boat in an earlier episode, and so on. So it adds the symbolism and the tropes that we've come to enjoy and learn from both slasher movies and from this actual season of American Horror Story 1984. Now, we also see Brooke being rescued by the nurse, and Brooke is now, because she has spent 5 years in jail, on death row, not even just jail, but on death row for crimes that she didn't commit, although she did ultimately kill Billy Lord, but she didn't kill anyone else really. Like, she's a victim of circumstance, but now she's more hardened, more hardcore, and trying to get stuff done. We get to see our wonderful Richard Ramirez do some more stuff. Um, and he's always sexy and hot. I like to see him around. Let's see what else happened. Oh, they were spoofing. I don't want to go too long today. Again, we got another spoof on the Firefest idea where where uh Margaret is trying to plan the big music festival for this horrible camp where everyone got slaughtered. Oh, yeah, we find out that Lily Rabe went on a murderous rampage after her favorite son died. She went around and slaughtered all the kids at the camp. So, because they should have been watching out for her kid, and it was her favorite kid, and so she went on a killing spree. So that was the first killing spree. So Lily Rabe is actually a ghost that hangs out in the woods at the camp as well. And at first, when they were talking about women fleeting and stuff, I thought they might be referring to the Lady Gaga character from the Roanoke episodes, the season, because she was like a wild witch running loose in the woods. And so I thought maybe she was like the wood nymph or something, uh, and that might be tied together somehow, but I don't think it is now. It's Lily Rabe, the distraught mother, and she never sees her son. And so before I get onto the Firefest thing, I want to say that this is a thing I find confusing about this season, and I find confusing about American Horror Story in general. And I haven't read reviews about this week's episode, but I have read reviews about other seasons and other episodes where other people, reviewers like myself, big fans have been watching all along. We do know that there's huge indiscrepancy on how the ghosts behave, because even in hotel as ghosts there seems to be different rules for different types of ghosts. So we have the distraught mother ghost haunting the camp, and she can't leave, and all she does is be angry and freak out. Then we have, Cody Fern and Billy Lord and all those guys, that cast of characters of ghosts hanging out at the camp because they can't leave because they were killed there. Yet, as far as I know, we haven't yet seen ghosts of the kids that Lily Rabe killed the whole camp in her time, if that's the 50s or whenever it was. We haven't seen any of the ghosts from when, whether it was Margaret or Mr. Jingles, went on their rampage in 1974 or whatever it was. On their rampage, we haven't seen all those kid ghosts yet, and counselors and so on. Only one or two, maybe. And then, yet, so it's hard to know unless they're all hiding somewhere. And of course, the little boy who died in the motorboat, Bobby, Mr. Jingle's brother, the favorite son, we haven't seen his ghost. And the mother keeps looking for him and his ghost, and she never finds him. So where's he? Where's his ghost? Right? So it's confusing, and it's hard to stay on board with a story like this because we're not sure the rules. Where are all these kids? Where are all the ghosts? And do ghosts come and go? Yet, Billy Lord and Cody Fern and all those guys, they can't leave. Their ghosts can't leave because they already established that before. Yet Mr. Jingles and the Night Stalker were able to leave. But of course, like I said before, Night Stalker did make a deal with the devil at some point, but they were still ghosts, and he hadn't made the eternal life deal yet. So I don't know. I don't know. Enlighten me in the comments. Enlighten me. Okay, so my last couple thoughts are how they're spoofing the Fire Fest. So Margaret's coming to bring in the rock concert, and Billy Idol and all that. And then they're like, well, we these cabins are, her husband, the guy with the huge, um, and everyone else, the guy who's in a couple of other episodes, the advisor guy, and other people, they're like, we can't set up this fast for a concert. The cabins aren't ready. There's no food. There's no this. And she's saying, oh, we'll just give them like a French fry and a styrofoam or whatever she says. And so this is a direct riff. As I said before in another video, this is a direct riff on Firefest and how they tried to throw together a rock concert and didn't care that, they just wanted all the rich people to come, but they didn't actually have places for them. And like I've said before, you can watch an episode of American Greed about that, and there's also a documentary on Netflix about the Firefest Festival and what a scam it was. So they're riffing on that a bit, and it's pretty hilarious. Night Stalker comes in, and I believe he killed Billy Idol. He killed someone. It wasn't clear to me when I watched it, I've only watched it once though. When I watched it on Wednesday, it wasn't clear to me if that was Billy Idol or supposed to be Billy Idol. Anyways, everyone gets killed there. The whole bus tour of rock stars, or presumably, or maybe just the Billy Idol or whoever, that guy with the hair, weird hair. He didn't look like Billy Idol. I don't know. Maybe Billy Idol didn't sign off on it. I was a little confused about all that. But anyways, and then we have Brooke and the nurse off on a rampage trying to they're heading up to the camp because Brooke wants to have her revenge for whatever reasons. She can't just be happy she escaped death row, I guess. And so they have some stuff goes down. But what I find hilarious, I was actually laughing out loud, was they did spoof her dad, Eric Roberts. I've talked about Eric Roberts before. I've been in love with Eric Roberts forever, ever since I saw him in Star 80. He's my favorite psychopath. And in this episode, they cut off someone's thumbs. Just like happened to Eric Roberts in another movie. Because I know me and some of my friends who know that movie. One of my exes would always go, "My thumbs! They took my thumbs!" And even in Tropic Thunder, when they have the hands thing, I always would think back to Eric Roberts with his. And it was horrible when he got his thumbs cut off. It was like a mafia movie. I can't remember. I should have looked up what movie that was, but yeah, it was a big thing about Eric Roberts. Made a mistake and got his thumbs cut off, but he lived and continued on with the movie, whatever. But so they spoof it in American Horror Story. That's pretty much how it ends. The guy's all tied up with his thumbs cut off, and Emma Roberts had cut off the thumbs, right? And also, this is showing Brooke as a character, showing that she's not taking any prisoners at this. Like she's a badass now. She's not the sweet virginal girl, but we already saw the transformation happening, but they're continuing with the transformation, which is great. But I just had to, it's the main reason why I wanted to do the video today, was because I loved how they referred to the thumbs. Yeah. Anyways, what did you think of this episode? What do you think of this season? I'm not sure where we're going with it all and what's going to happen, but we got, I think, 2 episodes left now, so let's see what happens next. So let me know in the comments what you think, and have a great day.